Riu Panama. It is such a joy to be in your midst this evening. Let my first word be a word of gratitude. I feel grateful to the organizers of this beautiful meeting. I feel grateful to the Sadhu Vaswani centers of Panama and Cologne. I feel grateful to them for having called me here and given me an opportunity of meeting you all. I feel grateful to our chief guest, the Ambassador, Honorable Mr. Yogeshwar Verma. I feel grateful to the Governor of Cologne, His Excellency, Mr. Pedro Rio. Is there anyone else who has come here? The Mayor? No. I feel grateful to them. I met them a little while ago, and even as I met them, I said to myself, here are two persons with rich minds, creative minds, kind, compassionate hearts, and a radiant simplicity. The deepest aspiration of their hearts is to make the people happy. Therefore, it is a joy to me that they have come and blessed us this evening. I feel grateful to my very kind hosts, members of the Parwani family and members of the Chatalani family. They are truly pictures of loving kindness and rich hospitality of the heart. They have spared no pains to keep all members of the party that comes here very comfortable. I feel grateful to them. I feel grateful to Dr. Kiran Jotwani, who has been taking me from one place to another and who takes care of this body so lovingly. I feel grateful to him. I feel grateful to every one of you. You who have spared your precious time and come here to listen to my broken words and to give me the blessings of your brave, beautiful hearts. I feel grateful to every one of you. I feel grateful to our gifted Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Amit Bakshani. His heart, I know, is filled with aspirations. He is a gifted young man. I feel grateful to him. He spoke certain words. Also the ambassador very kindly spoke certain words concerning me, which I know I have not done nothing to deserve. As I have repeatedly said, I am but a simple pilgrim, moving from place to place, country to country, moving wherever the Lord take me, moving in quest of fellow pilgrims in whose hearts there may be an intense thirst, a deep yearning for the higher, the spiritual values of life. I am one of the many servants of the great Master, the beloved Master, whose portrait is here in front of us, and whose name my lips are not worthy to lisp. Sadhu Vaswani. There is a fragrance in his name There is a music in his memory. He was a seer and a sage. He was a saint who did not hide himself in an ivory tower, but who came and mingled as a man amongst men, providing them with meaningful solutions to their problems and perplexities. He was a poet. He was a patriot of the purest race serene. He was a mystic who communed with the wonder that is ageless, the wonder that is radiant, in the moon, the sun, the stars, the Atman, and in every atom. He was a thinker. He was an educationist, the founder of the Mira movement in education, which seeks to give a new type of education to the students, a man-making education, a character-building education, an education which teaches that life is larger than livelihood, that the end of knowledge is not gains in silver and gold, jobs and careers, but service and sacrifice. He was a voice of the voiceless ones, as was told you by dear Amit. The dumb, defenseless children of God, who alas are being slain by the million in our soulless cities every day. Oh, the sin of every slaughter, he exclaimed, and he added words with which many of you may not agree today. But he spoke with the intuition of a seer when he said, "Believe me, the day is coming when meat eating will be condemned as murder." Many are the things that I could tell you concerning him. I remember one day we were walking on the roadside when he sighted a poor man lying underneath a tree. The poor man's clothes were tattered and torn. His feet were covered with mud. Sadhu Vaswani asked for a bucket of water. As soon as the bucket of water was brought with his own hands, this prince amongst men, he had but to lift up a finger, and many of us would rush to find out what his wish was. With his own hands, he washes the body of the beggar and passes on to him his own shirt to wear. The beggar pointed to the cap which was on Sadhu Vaswani's head. Without the least hesitation, he passed on the cap to the poor man, and on that occasion uttered words which I can never forget. Though this incident happened over 65 years ago, the words are engraved on the tablet of my heart. He said, "This shirt and this cap and everything that I have is a loan given to me to be passed on to those whose need is greater than mine." Mark those words, loan. Everything that we have, our time, our talents, our knowledge, our wisdom, our university degrees, our wealth, our life itself, our prestige, our power, everything is a loan given to us to be passed on to those whose need is greater than ours. If only you will carry these words with yourself as you return to your homes tonight. Your coming to this meeting will not be in vain. In these few simple words, as it seems to me, is enshrined the secret of a new humanity, a new world order, a new civilization. Many other things that I could tell you concerning this most remarkable man, but my time has traveled fast. And I remember that I have to give you a short talk on spirituality in daily life, to be followed by a question-answer session. My friends, the more I have thought of it, the more I have felt that what humanity needs today is not rites and dogmas, is not ceremonies and creeds, but the people today want a reassurance. They want to know that they are not alone, that they have not been abandoned, but that there is one who loves them, who cares for them as they are. My friends, philosophy and theology has so much to tell us concerning God, but what the people want is an experience of God. They want to experience God. There is a difference between eating a dinner and reading the menu. There is a difference between reading a travel book and actually visiting the land described therein. My friends, every minute, every second is a gift of God to man. Every breath, every inhalation, every exhalation is a gift of God to man. One way to realize this is to stop doing whatever you are doing. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. A slow, deep breath is a breath whose inhalation at least lasts for 5 seconds, and so does an exhalation. If you breathe in and out 6 times, it will take you only a minute. 6 times you take the breath in, 6 times you take the breath out, it will take you only a minute. If you do this for 10 times in a day, it will take you only 10 minutes. But these 10 minutes can change your life. Philosophy and theology will never change your life. They can only touch the superficies of life. But this little exercise can change your life. My friends, God gives to each one of us in a day and night cycle 1440 minutes. Will you not give back to God just 10 minutes? Not 10 minutes in one long stretch, but these 10 minutes could be broken into 5 parts of 2 minutes each. It will be very easy for us to remember. When we get up in the morning, even before we open our eyes, we give 2 minutes to God. When we take breakfast, give 2 minutes to God. A little before you take your lunch, give 2 minutes to God. A little before you take dinner, give 2 minutes to God. Just as you are about to slip into sleep, give 2 minutes to God. In all, you will have given only 10 minutes to God out of the 1440 minutes that He gives us every day in a day and night cycle. And what are you to do in those 2 minutes? In those 2 minutes, you will take 12 breaths. 12 inhalations, 12 exhalations. As you inhale, you say to yourself, I open the door I open the door to God to enter my life. I open the door to God to enter my life. And as you exhale, you say to yourself, but when you inhale, you will not be able to say loudly, because when you inhale the breath, you cannot speak. The words are to be uttered silently. And when you exhale, say to yourself, say to yourself, thank you God for entering my life. Thank you God for entering my life. As I said, in 2 minutes, you will be able to do this exercise for 12 times. Soon you will realize. It's a very simple exercise. But if you keep on doing sincerely, faithfully, day after day, soon you will realize, you will get the assurance that God is watching over you, that God is watching you. God is watching over you. God is watching you. God will become a reality to you. My friends, as I said, philosophy will not change your life. Philosophy cannot change your life. It can only touch the superficies, the surface layer of life. But this simple exercise will soon change your life. My friends, as I said, philosophy can be very revealing. Philosophy has so much to tell us about God, but it is all words. It can be very revealing, but it cannot change our life. What we need is that our life should change for the better. Spirituality is that which takes us closer to God. As it is, we are far away from God. There was a time when we all sat in the presence of God, but something happened and we became separate from God. We are now in a journey which takes us away from God. Every day that passes takes us farther and farther away from God. What we need to do is to take a U-turn. If we wish to live a spiritual life, we should take a U-turn. We should take the journey back to God. Hence, the value of the message which was given by the ancient sages, by the ancient rishis, by the ancient saints. They taught people how to live the true life, the new life. The life of simplicity and sympathy and service, the life of new awakening, the life of self-forgetfulness and self-realization. They also taught the people how to keep the mind fresh and to dare and to achieve. Hence the value of this message. It is a message which the world needs today. What is this message? This message is, in simple words, that you are not what you take yourself to be. You are not what you think you are. Suppose I were to ask you, what are you? You would point to the bodies that you wear. But you are not the bodies that you wear. You are not the body-mind complex. This is the great message that the great ones gave. And it is the one great need of the world today. You are neither the bodies that you wear, nor are you the body-mind complex. The body is only a garment that you have worn. You are the wearer of the garment. The body is only your present address. You have been changing your addresses from time to time. With every new birth that you take, You have a new address. You are not the bodies that you wear. The body is only a jacket that you have worn. And you are not the mind. The mind is an instrument which you have brought with yourselves to do your work on the physical plane. This is the message that the world needs today. My friends, within the body is the heart. The heart is placed on the left side. In line with the heart at the center of the body is what we call the spiritual heart. As part of the spiritual heart is a cave. And in this cave dwelleth God. God is not a distant being dwelling on a faraway star. God is wherever you are. God is here. God is now. God is dwelling in the cave of the heart. Blessed are you if you set out in quest of this dwelling place of God. Where does God dwell? Where is God? This is the question that spirituality asks and answers. Where is God? Who is God? And what is God doing? These are the things that spirituality deals with. My friends, what is spirituality? Spirituality, in simple words, is knowledge of God. It is a direct knowledge of God. Books tell us that God exists. So many people will tell you that God exists. But because they have had no experience of God, their knowledge is not of the right type. It is book knowledge. It is an indirect knowledge. It is a theoretical knowledge. It is only when you experience God, and that is what spirituality is. Spirituality is that which gives you an experience of God. You can talk to God, you can walk with God, you can speak to God, you can hear His voice, for God is more real to you than all these things that are around you. All these things, they are passing. Nothing abides. Alone God is eternal. And when you contact with God, when you commune with God, when you walk with God, when you talk to God, then God becomes real to you.